in general, your view on these numbers, Lindsey?
Well, I think what we see is the dichotomy going on in the economy. On the one hand, you have this rise in claims coupled with a very disappointing November non-farm payroll report, really highlighting the fragility of the labor market, particularly now, as Steve mentioned, the second resurgence of the virus leading to further business closures and additional job losses. On the other hand, you have the housing market, one of the bright spots for the economy as Americans are really looking at their home now as a workplace, a school, a refuge. So you layer in these record low interest rates, and you do have an equation for a continued run up in demand going forward into 2021. Particularly now, as commuting to work has become less of a factor, you do have people looking for additional space outside of the city center, or in some cases, lower cost alternatives or safer alternatives. So we would expect the housing market to be one of the bright spots, not only currently, but carry forward into 2021 as we expect broader growth to slow. This is going to be a welcomed bright spot.
And what should policymakers be doing just in general, Lindsey? And there's a shortage for housing. I mean, there's a lot of things, obviously, to consider during the pandemic, post-pandemic. What should the priorities be?
From a policy standpoint, what we need is continued support for the economy. And I think the Federal Reserve Chairman was pretty clear yesterday, reading between the lines of what he said during the press conference. The Fed has done all that they can do to continue to support the economy and markets to function smoothly, but they're handing over that proverbial baton now to the federal government. And the expectation is that we will see a compromise on that fifth round package, or as you heard from your earlier guest, potentially a sixth round as we move into 2021. And the economy is expectedly still very anemic and potentially coming out of a second round dip into negative territory, depending on the depth and duration of this second round resurgence that we find ourselves in at this point.
Shepard Smith here. Thanks for watching CNBC on YouTube.